first thing that I was shown was almost like a volcano ready to explode. There is going to be a massive surge of light coming in from the sun. You are going to hear things that you are not going to want to hear. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lucy Davis and today I am here to share all around the July energy update for the year 2022. So let's just start by looking back over the June energy. It was bouncy. There was lots of adventures that took place. We've had, it's been such a fast-paced month. And in fact, it's fair to say that since April 2022, we have been going at such a fast speed. And this is not going to slow down at all during July and August and even going into September. Now, before I go on any further, please do go and check out my website. There is a course on there called the Breakthrough Experience. It is £7.77. That is so cheap. Everybody can afford to do that. And it is a 5-day program whereby I help you break through some of the shackles that you have put yourself in through your lifetime. Now, if you've been watching my videos a while, you know that I do trigger people and that is how I get the results. So please do go in there knowing that you are going to get triggered. You are going to be asked questions that perhaps you may want to be avoiding or, you've been putting off. So please do go and check that out. Recently, a lot of people have been signing up for it and the results that they have been getting. And to be honest, I always forget about talking about it because I just assume that people will find it on my website, which is actually absolutely the wrong thing to do. So please do go and check out that video when you get a moment. Anyway, let's get serious about this July energy update. Now, a lot of you will know I have filmed this very early this month because by the time you are watching this, I will be in another country doing some work that I will be doing from an energy perspective over there. So I've done a number of videos before I have gone away, which is why, although my social media may be showing I'm in beachy and sunny countries, I'm actually here in my home whilst I'm doing this. I've actually filmed all of these in the middle of June. So let's get looking at this July energy. And obviously I've channeled this very, very early this month. I like to leave it a little bit closer so that I can get the last minute updates. But you know what? We're going to do the best that we can. So buckle up. Here comes the July energy for you. Okay, so when I first tapped into the energy for July 2022, the first thing that I was shown was almost like a volcano ready to explode. Okay, now for those of you that have been following me a long time, you will remember when I went to Guatemala and I connected so deeply with the volcanoes there, and I often sat on the rooftop just watching the smoke and the lava popping out of the volcanoes. It was absolutely amazing. So when I saw this vision, it almost felt a little bit like home to me. I loved Guatemala so much. It's one of my favorite places in the world. So I think it's fair to say she's poised and she is ready to blow. Okay, now what do I mean by that? Do I mean explosions in all sorts of different directions? So I think it's fair to say we are going to be getting a lot of spotlight on different areas, okay? The mission for the truth and the mission for freedom is very much in flight right now. And I'm going to raise this right now here for the July energy update. You are going to hear things that you are not going to want to hear. I've been saying it for a very long time. There is a massive pool of people that believe that they know exactly what's going on. There is going to be some shocks. There is going to be some shake-ups. We've basically gone from living in one way and then we've all jumped on the bandwagon of another way, and it's this process that's taking place. We're jumping on whatever the next bandwagon is. We are collapsing all pedestals. We are collapsing all of that. We need to get to the truth. We need to get to freedom, no matter what that takes. So please do remember, and I've been talking about this a very long time on my social media, remember, anything that you truly have believed for a long time. Be open to it being incorrect. Be open to different perspectives. Okay. July is going to, let's call it what it is, shake shit up. Okay, it really is going to shake shit up for us. We are going to have to be like, wow, I didn't expect to see that. Wow, I was wrong about that. There's going to be a lot of that taking place. Now, of course, when we have been so transfixed on something and we've been so focused and we're, you know, this is what's happening and this is how it is and yada, yada, yada. Obviously, it takes a lot to be able to take a step back and say, wow, I was wrong. Wow, I actually let my ego lead me down there rather than my discernment and my intuition that was perhaps saying to me that I needed to look at different things or look at it from a different angle. Be open to every single perspective. Every single perspective, you've got to be open to it right now. Trust me, there are a lot of people out there that have been giving a lot of information that has been incorrect. Now, doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just means that the information that they have been being given is not correct. Be prepared for that. Now, with that, obviously, in our mission for truth and for freedom, we are going to be getting heightened emotions. So be very, very aware of how you are reacting to things, but also have empathy and compassion when you're seeing people around, different people around the world have heightened emotions as well. There is going to be a lot of collapsing of the paradigm that we've been living in. There is no option. We have to do it. Now, a lot of people believe that they are in a space whereby they know everything and, you know, oh, yeah, it's good. I know what's happening. I'm just waiting for this person to come back or this to do. No, that's not what we're here to do. We are here to live in this present moment. We are here to stand in our truth. We are here to take action. We're not here. And I have been talking about this for such a long time, like 18 months, 2 years. Knock the pedestals away. Stop waiting for people to come back. Like, I don't know how many more times I can say it, but this energy is going to be highlighting things that you are going to be very shocked about. You're going to be very, very probably disheartened as well for a little while, which is why the heightened emotions are going to come. But do remember, we've been here before and we will get through it. We are going to get through it. Everything has to come to light. There is no more hiding. There is absolutely no more hiding. So I'm encouraging this to happen because once we've got through more of this, then obviously we're going to start to see the light at the end of the tunnel, which, by the way, I wrote down yesterday as December 2024. That's when they told me, literally yesterday, or maybe a couple of days ago, that's the timescale that we've got to get to. You know, so we've got a couple of years left of this. Not perhaps at the rate that we've been going, but a couple more years of collapsing and upgrades and making sure that the collective is strong enough to do this. Now, talking of upgrades, there is going to be a massive surge of light coming in from the sun. It's going to be stronger. It is going to be, you know, much more powerful. It's going to be shining the light of the darkness even more so, okay? What is going to come with that is obviously our DNA upgrades. We are going through a massive process at the moment of going from carbon to crystalline. Again, I've been speaking about this for many years now, but these upgrades are taking place. Our literal DNA is being upgraded. Now, if you are somebody like myself that can feel your DNA being upgraded at some point, you know, there are, you know, biologists talk about there being 2 strands, but actually there's about 10 that lay dormant within us. So all of these DNA strands are coming back online now. For some people, they will already be up to, you know, a handful, but for other people, they will still be at 2, which is why we're going to need these next couple of years, 2.5 years, to be able to get to the point whereby we can actually say, right, we are here and everybody's vibrating at the level that we need it to be. Now, this is about survival. We have to upgrade our DNA to be able to cope with the frequency that is going to be hitting the planet with this additional light and, you know, the talk of solar flares and things like that. We must recognize that this is going to make us stronger. This is going to highlight things a lot easier, but we need to take the time out to integrate. If you are somebody a bit like myself that keeps pushing, you know, every day I go out for a 10K run, at least. So, you know, it might be that one day you go, no, I'm going to walk instead of run, or actually I'm just going to have a lie-in today, or I'm just going to kick back on the couch or something. Please do allow yourself. It's not you being lazy. This is around the integration process. You cannot get the upgrades from these new DNA enhancements unless you allow yourself the time to integrate these processes. July is spicy, hey? July is super spicy. Death and rebirth. So we are going to see a lot of the old collapsing. I think I spoke about this in the solstice video and the new moon video. We must collapse the old to be able to bring in the new. Okay, we must I think I spoke about this in another video. You know, we've got to clear out our closet before we can put some new things in there, otherwise it gets overcrowded. That is what is going to be taking place in July, and this is why I say to you, have the compassion and have the openness and have the awareness that anything that you currently believe may well come to light as something that isn't quite of the truth. Okay, death and rebirth is a massive theme through July and August. Secrets are going to come to the light. Now, I don't watch anything on TV, but somebody did say to me that they feel as if there's going to be a lot of secrets coming to light and over something to do with the 6th of January scenario. I think that's the day where, you know, everybody stormed into the building in America. I think that's what happened on the 6th of January. I can't actually remember now. It's such a long time ago. However, when I tapped into the energy, I was shown very clearly that secrets are going to come to light. Secrets are going to surface, and secrets that you never really thought were secrets, if that makes sense. We're going to be shocked. There are going to be shocks. We are going to feel betrayed. We are going to feel led astray. We are going to feel disheartened and disillusioned. They're the words that they're giving me. Okay. We are going to have to go through this. We are not out of the woods with this yet. This is why for the last 2 years, definitely at least 2 years, I've been saying to you, let go of any expectation, let go of any attachment that you've got to any kind of result. Because if you are holding on to the outcome of a result, trust me, you are going to get let down. Trust me, betrayal is going to be a real thing in your life. You are going to be pissed off. You are going to be hurt. You are going to be offended. You're going to be, you know, in this victim mode, and that is what we're stepping out of. Now, this is why it's all coming to the surface. This is why so many people have been playing a role within this over the last couple of years, because they have had to hold us down. They've had to keep us suppressed so that we believe things. You know, we've literally gone from one illusion into another illusion. We are going to have to dig deep for compassion through July. Dig very, very, very deep for compassion. You're going to think, screw this, I've had enough of it. Dig deep for compassion. Compassion and love is how we are actually going to get through this. As you all know, we are heading into a world of love. We're heading into the age of love. We're heading into the age of Aquarius. We are, you know, stepping into a world that only love can survive. Love is the strongest of all. And if that doesn't resonate with you, then, you know, you're in for a really bumpy ride over the coming few years. Love is the only way that we are going to get out of this. Love can knock anything else off of its perch. And love starts with us being compassionate for each other. Start loving yourself. Up your self-love, up your self-care. Look at what areas of your life that you can, you know, give more love to. When you're cooking your food, can you put more love into it? When you're speaking to your children, can you put more love into it? Now, I know when there's fires burning all around us and we're desperately trying to put them all out, it's very difficult to dig for compassion. It's very difficult when there have been people that have been saying to you, this person's a good person, this person's a good person, or, you know, you've really believed them when they've been talking the talk. It's going to be challenging to actually find the compassion to recognize that they were actually playing a role in this, as some people like to call it, a movie. I like to call it an illusion. Talking of the illusion is going to be highlighted much more significantly. You can probably tell by the way that I am speaking, the end is in sight for this illusion. The curtain is about to be pulled down. It's not going to close. The curtain is coming down. We are ripping it down off of its tracks. The illusion has nowhere to go anymore. We are going to see how suppressed we have been. We are going to see how many actors have been playing a role. We are going to see how manipulated we have become and how complacent we became as a human race. Thankfully, starseeds all over the world are coming, like rising up, coming back online. And there are enough of us who can guide and lead so that we can get to a place whereby we are all in that world of love, in that heaven on earth, as I talk about, or Shambhala, as some people like to call it. Take a breath, Lucy. Sometimes I do this and it's just all channeled through me and I'm like, blah, 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 it goes so quickly. So sometimes I just have to remind myself, you're in a human vessel right now, Lucy. Breathe, let people understand you and actually catch up. So apologies if I'm going too fast. Okay, through July, we are going to have this whoop whoop energy in regards to spiritual awakening. We are going to have an increased connection to source. And what I mean by that is telepathy is going to be coming back online. Our psychic abilities, our mediumship abilities, this inner knowing that we've all got, our compass is going to be on fire. We are going to be so connected and we're going to be getting all of this information, and some of us won't know what to do with it. But thankfully, like I say, there's a lot of starseeds around the world that are coming back online now. So they will be able to hold your hand. They will be able to guide you. Now, do comment below if any of this resonates with you. Are you starting to recognize your gifts coming back online? I had a really beautiful scenario today. I called my stepdad to have a conversation with him because I've got to do something with him tomorrow. And he said to me, my gosh, like you're getting really good at this stuff. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, I literally just thought about you and wondered if I should call you, and here you are calling me. Now, I don't know why he's still surprised at this. There's been many occasions where I've shown him, I've proved to him about telepathy, and, it blows him away every single time. Be open to it. It's not a coincidence. It is your gifts are coming back online because you've got this thread that links you out of your crown chakra to source, and you can tap into any of that whenever you choose to. We know, and as you would have heard in my recent meditations, we know that there are people that are putting similar cords, the ones that come out of the crown up to source. They've been putting those in other places of the body. So, just recognize, scan your body every single day and ask yourself, is your connection to source what it needs to be? Are you starting to get telepathic messages? Are you starting to get, see spirit, hear spirit, or just get this inner knowing that about things that you should never know about? Talking about crown, I've actually been given another meditation whereby we're really going to bring your crown chakra, or at least open this connection from your crown up to the source. So I will look to film that and get that out on YouTube imminently. So do keep your eyes open for that one. I'm not doing any live meditations at the moment, but I am recording meditations that I can put music to and pop them out on this channel. So do make sure that you subscribe to the channel and set your notifications, like by hitting the bell, if you want to be first in line for the meditations and other video content that comes out. Another thing that I've been speaking about for probably about 3 years now, manifestation through July, August, and September is going to be absolutely next level. Now, I've been speaking about a different type of manifestation to kind of like the secret and law of attraction kind of thing for about 3 years now. It's very much all through my program. And this is around connecting to manifestation through high levels of consciousness. I call it 5D manifestation, but you can call it whatever you want to call it. This is about aligning yourself with the greatest good and being able to call things in without actually having to, go and sweat it out in the gym or whatever. This is going to become very, very, very important and online through, I'm going to say the end of July, probably the second half of July going into August, but it is definitely going to start coming. Don't know about you, I'm noticing it constantly. I've been practicing, like I say, for a good few years, and I'm noticing it all the time. All I need to do is set an intention, think something, and then it's done. It's literally there in the bag. And this is what's going to be coming online for everybody. Yes, it's going to take time, because if we all start manifesting anything that we think about or any intention that we set, the world will go into chaos. But please do start to notice, you will get little tidbits from Gaia, from the divine, letting you know that she hears you and that she sees you and that she feels you. Okay, so excited. Now, this is really interesting because I channeled all of this a few days ago now. And this morning when I was out on my run, I actually saw a cloaked ship, which was absolutely incredible. And we are going to be getting much more exposure to off-world Now, that could be ships, it could be lights, it could be interdimensionals themselves, but through July and going over the summer months, we are going to be getting a much stronger connection with our friends off world. I got a message maybe a few weeks ago now that they were ready to get involved. You know, they were ready to get involved much more. So I'm open to it. I've been open to it for a very long time. I work quite closely with some of them. I won't go into too many details now, but be open to it. If you are open to it, July, August, September, we'll start to see much more. Did I just imagine that, or did that really just happen? Did I just see those flickering lights? That it's kind of going to be that kind of stuff, just to start getting your attention and raise the consciousness on it. So exciting. I can't wait for that bit. I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait for that bit. Like I previously mentioned, there's going to be huge shifts in the awakening taking place on the planet. Now, I know on my Instagram channel, Lucy Davis 2222, I often talk about, you know, people are waking up and things like that. And there's always a couple of people that go, no one's waking up, no one's getting it. I don't see that in my world. I literally see waves and waves of people that were previously fast asleep, but they were completely zonkoed in the land of dreams. And they are starting to come online and recognize what is taking place around the world. Now, remember, awakening doesn't necessarily mean it has to be about politics, or it has to be around America or around Mr. T or anything like that. It's literally just they're starting to get a different level of perspective on the way that life is. Okay, we don't need to go over the old stuff. We don't need to old hash that. You know, it's old news now. It's like thrown away newspaper. Why dredge it back up again? Let's look at what we are stepping into. And if all of a sudden somebody's intuition starts coming online, honor them for that. Don't give them a hard time because they missed the memo about the truth movement and things like that, which, as I've said all the way along, is massively inverted, just like any of the other movements are. That is not a different movement. Okay, they are all you know, fruits from the same tree, should we say. Okay, big deal. This is a big deal. There is going to be massive shifts in the financial world during July. Please do not go into panic. Whenever I talk about financial collapse and things like that, people go, oh my God, Lucy, what should I do? Should I take all my money out of the bank? No, like, it's not like that. We're past that stage now. Like, don't get me wrong, I would always have cash on me. Like, you know, I would always make sure I've got a decent amount of cash on me. But whatever happens has got to happen. We have to go through this period of collapse. We can't just pick and choose. I've been saying this all the way along. You know, people, you know, we even need to look at collapsing the way that we heal people right now, and these beliefs around certain systems and things that we've got in place and procedures and processes. Like, we need to be open to everything being changed and being collapsed right now, not just the things that we think are treacherous or maybe, you know, that have done us some harm in the past. We need to be collapsing everything, and the financial system is one of those things. There will 100% be a new system, and I feel that that's going to be in place by about September time. But that's just me. That's just me. I do feel that things are going to be shifting in a big way through July. Some may notice it, some may not notice it, but things have to collapse to be rebuilt. Okay, we have to get rid of the old. Like I said at the beginning, we've got to get rid of the old to bring in the new. Like I said in the last couple of videos as well, unless we, you know, take out the dirty laundry, you know, we need to make space, essentially. Okay, and this is very much in the financial world as well, so do be prepared for that. I've said it from the get-go for the last 2.5 years. Make sure you've got some cash in your back pocket. You know, make sure that you've got plenty of food in your house. Make sure that you've got a bit of a backup system in place, if you like. And that's not me to put the fear of God in you. This is just, you should be doing that anyway. We shouldn't be complacent that the banks are always going to be working, or our little bit of plastic is always going to be efficient. Okay, please, please, please just get yourselves prepared, and, you know, hopefully we'll jump this timeline very quickly. But at the moment, it's looking like, you know, we are going to have a little bit of an impact off of this shift. Like I said a short while ago, perspectives are going to be challenged massively during July. Everything that you believed, like if you've been really right wing or really left wing or really opinionated in one camp or another, trust me, your perspectives will be challenged through July. There will be some shocks for you. There will be some humbling that has to take place. The best way to get through this is self-mastery. Now, what do I mean by self-mastery? Look at you and know who you are. Like I said earlier, the breakthrough course will really help you with this. I also have a program called Self-Love Mastery that is starting again in September, but I would encourage every single person to go and invest £7.77, about, you know, $15 if you're in America, in Australia. Go and invest in that program, because it asks very pertinent questions and will start to chip away at the belief system that you've got in yourself. Most of us don't even realize how indoctrinated we have become by living the life that we've lived, or you know, working in the programs that we have, or in the systems that we have. This 5-day program will literally just help you recognize, oh my gosh, I hadn't even thought about that. I've never thought about that in my whole life. And that's what it's about. It's about knowing who you are, knowing what you like, knowing what you don't like, knowing how to put boundaries in place, knowing how you've literally held your back. How you've held yourself back, you know, how you've procrastinated, why you've become the massive procrastinator that you had, why you're a commitment phobe. Like, every single element of this has to come to the surface. And for us to be able to be ambivalent, for want of a better word, to every single perspective that's being shown to us, the only way that we can do that is by investing in self and getting on top of our self-mastery. Take good care of yourself. You know, if you need a massage, go for a massage. If you need time out, go for time out. If you can, and you're in a position to be able to afford to, like, go book a night away on your own. Like, go and push yourself outside of your comfort zone. This is the best way to get to know you. The best thing I ever did in my life was book a flight, leave the country, travel the world on my own, having to go for dinners on my own, having to speak to people on my own. Now I am so confident in the person that I am. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. If I want something, I'll tell people. I can be vulnerable enough to say to somebody, I love you, or, you know, sorry, this is not going to work. That is what this is about. We are stepping into a space of love. If we cannot be authentic, if we don't know who we are, and if we don't know how to be vulnerable, how on earth are we ever going to get there? Trust me, ladies and gents, this next couple of years of sorting our shit out, doing the healing, doing all the cleansing work, up leveling, working on self-mastery, trust me, it is going to be worth the few hundred years of peace that we've got coming, the few hundred years of abundance, the few hundred years of absolute gold that we've got coming in our direction. I just looked at the clock, it's 2:22. No surprise. So now is the time to be investing. Now is the time to be taking time out, recognizing who you are, getting into alignment with who you are, and how you are going to go on your journey forwards from here. Are you ready? Are you excited? I really am. Now, like I say, when this video goes out, I will be out of the country and I will be living my best life. I'm not on holiday. I am taking some time out, but I am doing lots of energy work. There's a bit of a grid that I'm setting up across the world at the moment. So you will be seeing me travel a lot over the coming times. I'm actually intending to grab a load of different shots and little video clips and then turn it into a YouTube video for you guys when I get back. Well, when I say I'll turn it into, I won't. So I'll have somebody else turn it into a little video that hopefully will be quite eye-opening and quite beautiful for each and every one of you to witness, so that you can see what I get up to behind closed doors. I'm going to leave you guys with a couple of videos. One of them will be the new moon video that was filmed in readiness for the 28th of June, just to go back and check and tap into that energy and remind yourself, you know, what's going on in and around the planet right now. We must keep on top of it. We've got huge shifts taking place. There's some huge days coming, particularly in America through July. So let's get into alignment with this. Let's start, you know, buffering ourselves up a little bit. Let's start really focusing on self. And ladies and gents, I will be seeing you in the next video. Lots of love.